So, The Biggest Loser.
Yeah, that was your name in high school. And what else? Oh, the show.
The Biggest.
The show.
The show, huh?
Yeah, it was a cultural phenomenon. You loved it, right?
I loved it. Couldn't get enough of it.
Big fan. Transparency, we never saw it. I never saw a second of it while it was on in the air. I don't know about you.
No, I didn't either. But apparently everybody's talking about it now because of this Netflix documentary. So,
let's dissect it.
Yeah, so I want to go over today the show, the documentary, all the controversy, how they portrayed trainers on the show, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then ultimately answer the question, was it like a net positive or more negative?
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the B-Fit Brothers podcast. As usual, that's Julian. I'm Victor. You know our podcast, so when we dilute all this fitness information for you guys and just, spoon feed it to you in a way that's much more manageable.
Simplify it. Give you honest, transparent thoughts.
I think that's the most important part.
Not trying to sell anything.
That's the most important part, is the transparency of it all.
We will sell shit. As soon as these views go up.
We will sell out.
Don't you worry, we will
sell out to Celsius.
I reached out to them.
Oh. They're like, we saw you talking shit about us in your last podcast. What are you going to sponsor?
My wife did, actually. So let's talk about the show first. If you've been living under a rock and don't know what The Biggest Loser is, you think there's anybody out there that doesn't know? Say hi to Vicky. She's going to be on the podcast at one point.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say some people were aware of it, but probably didn't know what it entailed.
Kind of like us, right?
Yeah, I knew it was a show about weight loss. That's pretty much all I knew.
Yeah, did you know Steve Cook, that trainer, was in it for one weird season?
No.
He wasn't in the documentary or anything like that. They discontinued the show. Anyway, let's definitely not get into that. But we're not going to go into the show and what it was and what it entailed. But basically, in a nutshell, it was a weight loss challenge. It was, 6 months? All these people stayed in a ranch. A lot of contestants, a lot of people applied for the show, especially once it gained popularity. People wanted to be on the show.
Yeah, it was a different time, I would say, too. People were out there making fools of themselves. Take that how you will. Those videos that they would send in.
It was the reality TV boom.
Yeah, exactly. So, people were literally doing anything to get on TV. And those tapes that they sent in, God, they were cringy.
And that poor lady that was, half naked.
Yeah, I'll do anything to get on here. Whoa! Yeah. She would, flash her belly for, in front of Times Square or something like that. It was a desperate time. For me, that's the ugly side of reality TV, is how desperate it makes people look to try to be on there.
On the other hand, there was a big incentive to win.
What is it, 250,000?
250,000, and of course, the weight loss itself.
Yeah, that's
a lot of these people were desperate. They were pretty obese, and these are people that have probably tried to lose weight a million times, and they're like, okay, I know I can lose weight. That's the mentality that they thought. I know if I go there, I basically have to lose weight. It's such a controlled environment, and that's one of the things I want to get into, is how unrealistic, but also you can't help but get the result you want being in such a control. It's like being in a lab and we're literally manipulating all the variables.
Yeah, you have no control of, if you want to eat a snack or something like that, you have literally no control over it. So I did have a question though, watching the documentary. Is there a percentage-based factor? Because obviously somebody that weighs 470 pounds has a much bigger advantage than somebody that weighs 220.
So there was what they showed when they presented the weight loss was pounds lost.
Yeah.
But then as a team, it would be who lost the most percentage of their body weight. Now, The winner, I'm not sure. The winner may have been just pounds, strictly pounds. I'm not sure how that worked, but you're absolutely right.
Because all I saw on the end is started at 420, ended at 220. It's lost 200 pounds. It's the person that weighs 220, the person that weighs 220 can't. And that's why I think the guy's, his name was Danny, was the heaviest contestant, and he would lose. I think he broke the record for amount of teens that he lost, the amount of times he lost double digits.
That's insane.
Because he was, at first he started, and as we know, if you start and you're that heavy and you're inactive, the pounds are going to come off like this. So he started like that, then he started limiting his calories even more. The advantage is insane to me. So I don't know if that, clearly they didn't care. I don't think back then people cared that much about that.
They tried to do the best they can, and as people that do challenges all the time, we know that it's impossible to come up with a truly fair challenge where you have a winner, determining a winner. There's always going to be people that complain men lose more than women, so you got to have a male and a female.
Yeah.
Oh, it has to be percentage, body fat percentage, which is what we do.
Oh, younger people having more advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always a bunch of issues. So I think they were trying to give them credit. They were trying to do like percentage of body weight, especially because of the like severely obese people that started coming on the show who had an advantage.
I find it interesting too how they started the show. The producer was like at the gym and he sees the signs like desperate, someone saved my life.
Yeah, my life. I'm
in
obese.
Desperate need. And he's like, I love how that
There's a show there.
Yeah, LA people, man. You see there, you're like, not damn this poor person. It's like, that's our next hit show. It's like, come on, man.
Beyond LA people, I feel like now it's like content. Everything's content, right? Like every little thing is an opportunity for content, but let's not go there because we talk about that every show. Again, nature of the show, they had these 2 trainers. I guess they only had 2. I don't know if later on they had, but they had 2 like popular trainers, a girl and a guy. And I guess they split the contestants up into 2 teams.
Yeah.
And then one of them was like Jillian Michaels and the other one was Bob Harper was his name.
I just know it's Bob.
Bobby. And so they kind of competed against each other in teams as well. And then there was a doctor, which I'm glad they had a doctor, a medical professional. And he seemed to me, at least watching the documentary, he seemed to me to be the most like balanced and actually like was being honest and knew what he was doing.
He was like, I'll take this paycheck, but God, at what cost? Because you could tell he's like, they didn't listen to me. Nobody listens to me and this and that. And I'm against, well, I'm not going to get into the drugs and all that stuff. We'll get into that now.
I'm going to be playing a lot of devil's advocate. I'll be the devil's advocate side because I'm trying to think about it as if I was producing this show. And the reason I bring that up is because they are trying, it's always hard when you're trying to do something for ratings and like reviews and for entertainment. Yeah. And then also keep like integrity and doing things correctly, right? Like I'm sure the producers were being pulled by both ends when it comes to that. And I think that's where a lot of the controversy comes from.
I also don't think that those producers cared too much about health or any of that really, because based on how I heard them speak, it was like, I mean, it was a show and I don't blame them. I'm not blaming them, but they're like, it's a show. We have to make it entertaining. And it's like,
but I call BS on like the whole, like the overly passionate person that just wants to help. Like obviously, yeah, they're first and foremost trying to make a hit show.
Yeah,
and then
that's what I'm saying.
The cherry on top was, oh, it's actually helping some people. Oh, wow, these people are actually making transformation. People people send in things desperate to get on our show. So think about the complex that you're going to have if you have thousands of people wanting to get on your show to transform their lives.
At the same time, I feel like it's already starting bad because these people aren't going to, let's say you apply for the show and you're morbidly obese and whatever, you don't get chosen. You're not going to start your weight loss journey because next year I'm going to try again.
Yeah, you can see
I got to stay fat.
There's a lot more people that aren't getting results than the few that are in your show.
The 12 that are on the show. So it's like, damn, I got to stay fat because next year, and it happened. They called one of the ladies and she's like, oh, I'm in? Okay, I'm going to start losing weight. Like, no.
Fattening up.
Yeah, they're like, no, don't lose weight. Fatten up before the show. And she's like, okay. So clearly it was all performative. But like you said, even if they faked empathy, I don't really think they would care too much. It's all about the ratings at that point.
Yeah. I think that we are very good at like fooling ourselves. Like, I mean, we in a general sense at like, no, I'm doing something good, you know, and then you're getting all this validation of your show's amazing and highest rated show on TV and making so much money and and you're just like, oh, I'm killing it here. This is great. It's like win-win.
I felt like it was such a different time. And it's like, I visibly cringed when it's like, they're on stage, they're all walking out on the stage, and all the sheep in the audience, yeah. I was like, you guys are sitting here paying money to basically watch fat people get paraded around.
Yeah, it's exploitative. We're definitely going to get deep into, was it exploitation or was it inspiration, you know?
I'm on the exploitation side.
Yeah, and of course you're exposed. Like the women were in sports bras. It's like, imagine the last thing that an obese person wants to do is be half naked in front of tens of millions of people that are watching you, and that's exactly what they did. And let's not even get into the temptation challenges. We're gonna get into that.
I love that they have to be shirtless, and it's like I get it for the visible. You have to be like to see the weight loss, but like you just said, man, it's the last thing you want to do is on national television. Here you go. Here are my man boobs.
Take it all off. Okay, so documentary. Let's get into it. How did you feel watching it? Do you think it was balanced, or do you think it was like a hit piece? Like, what did you think? What are your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty balanced. I think everybody got their fair representation. I think it skewed on the side of the contestants. I think the contestants got a lot of like, oh, this was my thing.
Like
and
sob stories.
Like, woe is me. You guys should feel bad for me. And I didn't feel bad for any of them, to be honest with you. Because I didn't. Because all of these things are consequences of your own actions, whether it's how you acted after the thing. They're all like, my metabolism is wrecked. And it's like, that's not really how that works, man. Just, in moderation, go back to a healthy lifestyle. Don't balloon back. And it was pretty funny how they showed the Danny guy's like, I got it all figured out. They're showing here, and then or do I? Boom, zoom out, and he's morbidly obese again.
That
it's
angle
like,
that they got of him just
no,
sitting
no, no,
there
no,
like
no, no. They got him good.
It was bad.
That's what I'm saying.
And by
Like,
the way, he had such a kind face.
he did.
And
he's like, oh, my family, and I like my family. And I get it. Like, they want you to, they're spoon feeding you. Like, oh, feel bad for this. I didn't feel bad for any of them. The black lady that was like, at one point goes, you, Bob Harper.
Then we find out that lady sued them. So my criticism of the people they picked, first of all, they only picked a handful of them, right? So it's like you got to take their word for it, right? Their anecdote. And then, a handful of people out of, I don't know how many dozens of contestants they had through the years. We don't know. Maybe the other 80%, 90% had a really positive experience. We don't really know. So picking the few that like sued the show and a little bit biased, but I did appreciate that at the end, some of them have nice things to say. Some of them say, I don't regret anything. I enjoyed going.
Say
it
their
changed my life.
Yeah.
It was the best thing I ever done.
Yeah.
And then, of course, so I do appreciate that they tried to balance. And then there was a lot of, it was definitely a hit piece on Jillian Michaels
100%.
of anybody else.
And she deserved it.
And she didn't want to go. They approached her about it, and she refused to go on.
In my opinion, it was a well-deserved hit piece. She sounded like a real piece of shit in every single episode, every single thing everybody had to say, and then she would justify it like, it's because I care about you, right? Like, I'm shitting on you in front of national TV. I'm belittling you. I'm dragging you on the floor, but it's because I care about you. Oh yeah, sure, Jillian. I'm sure you care about me so much, and it's not the multi-million-dollar paycheck you're getting per season.
Well, I do want to get into the portrayal of trainers because I think that's one of the more interesting parts that matters to me, obviously, because we're trainers and we own a gym. But let's finish off with the actual documentary because there's the show, there's the documentary, and that's what's creating like resurgence of the show. I watching the documentary again. We never watched the show, so I don't know what the hell they were doing to these people.
Yeah.
The fact that that one lady Tracy, she's like, they picked me, and then all of a sudden I was on a bus, and it's all of us on the bus, and we land at a beach, and it's like, okay, you're gonna run a mile. And I'm looking at my wife, and we're like, these obese people are gonna run a mile
on the beach in the sand. Have you ever tried running in the sand? It's not easy.
So for those who haven't watched the documentary, the lady passes out, ends up like crawling to the finish line, but then as soon as she gets there, they literally have to call like rescue, helicopter her to the nearest hospital, and it's like, yeah. So what I'm thinking the whole time watching is like, this was like the biggest risk that you can take aside from like a fear factor type of show. This was just a really risky thing to do. Take a bunch of unhealthy, overweight people and put them through the ringer.
And it's like the amount of calories that they said they were burning, 6,000 to 8,000 a day or something like that, with their with their 800 calorie diet is, as if anybody knows anything about physiology, it's insane to do your body. The demand is insane. So I think even kudos to the people that say they got something good from it, but the relationship that forms for these people with exercise and diet is way too extreme, and I don't think really much good can come from it, really. And then should we get into temptation challenges and all that stuff? Or?
Well, let's go. The way I have it set up, just to keep us in check, is like the good and then the bad and the ugly. So is there any good that you think came out of the show? One of the things is, it was an attempt to kind of put obesity and some of like those rising health crises that America was going through at the time, like on blast for everybody to see, right? Like, hey, this is a very overweight country. Let's kind of do something about it. It was like kind of like an intervention type of thing. So it made a lot of people, whether they were on the show or not, it inspired them to, oh wow, this really overweight person lost weight. I can lose weight. I don't know why you're smirking.
I know, because it's such a good, like, it's such a wholesome way to think about it. I didn't think about it like that. No, for me it was the opposite. It was like, hey, here's these circus freaks. Let's all laugh at the fatties. That's how I took it. Like, hey, because it's not like you're telling me, oh, and look at their journey. Look, they're having them work out properly. No, it's build this tower of food using only your mouth. It was all degrading. There was no like.
It wasn't all degrading.
It was mostly degrading. It was like, hang on these parallel bars. You're morbidly obese. You can't do anything. You can't barely lift a little 7-pound bar where you had. Hang on the parallel bar. It's like, so you're doing this to embarrass the people.
We're talking about the good part of the show.
Oh, I don't have any good parts.
So one of the bad things about it, which we're going to get into, is how it made people think that in order to lose weight, you have to do these extreme
things,
risky, dangerous, belittling type of things, which is obviously not true. But I'm just, again, playing devil's advocate. There was some good in the sense that I'm sure if you ask, like if you poll Americans, a percentage of them are going to be like, I was inspired by the show. Like at that finale, when you saw the person, you saw like which I don't know how they did that. They had like
their virtual walk-in.
Virtual, like,
you notice how they made the virtual like walk in like an ogre? Do you notice that?
And then, no. And then the other version that was like a literal transformation.
Yeah. They made them walk in. I saw one of the ladies walk in like this. And it's like, I know they made her do that on purpose. But I'm telling you, I have barely anything good to say. I guess you're right.
So you don't think that, awareness. So let's say like, hypothetically, one of those contestants they lost to it, which by the way, the amount of weight that they lost in 6 months, 200 pounds, that Danny 180 pounds in 6 months. That's like a whole ass person, like a big person, 200
pounds.
I've
ever weighed.
So you don't think that transformation in itself is a good thing? Forget about the fact that they gained it back.
Good for who?
For the person.
Sure. I guess.
Dude,
because
the person was morbidly obese and now they're normal weight.
I get it, but then the odds are they were going to yo-yo again as soon as they got out of there.
Is that a good thing or not? Them losing 200 pounds?
Middle. I choose the middle.
Wow, man.
Because
I'm glad we're disagreeing though.
Yeah, it's good. It's good because I don't like, okay, yeah, maybe it was good for 2% of them. The rest of them yo-yoed, and we know that's worse in the long run.
It was actually the reports that I said it was 65% of the contestants gained the weight back, which it's a lot, but it's not.
That's okay. It's not as much as I thought. Then okay, then there's maybe a little bit an inkling of good.
I mean,
in there.
Objectively speaking, if you're morbidly obese, and you go anything that gets you to a normal weight is good. I don't care. Okay, I swear to you, I don't care what it is.
So if we were to stop right there, like,
it was good.
We stopped the day after the measurements. Yeah, it was good for them. Awesome, cool.
But not just for them. Let's talk about the viewers, too.
I don't think it helped the viewers. Zero.
I think so.
I think zero.
What do you guys think in the
I
comments?
think this was the viewers.
Help us.
Oh my God, you lost so much weight. Pass the Culver's pot pie. Pass the pot pie. Did you see the sisters? How funny that we always talk about the Mid-America diet. It's like, I was eating a Culver's chicken pot pie, and you called me, and I was eating this pot pie.
Like, I know what you were eating.
I'm like, pot pies,
what
like
I see it does, man.
Frozen pot pies is what they were having for dinner.
This feels so bad for these people.
So what else do you think good came out of it? Since you have more good to say than I do.
I think that a lot of people that are morbidly obese, it's a mindset thing. They don't think that
they can do
transformation is possible. They've already like given up, kind of. Even if they try a little bit deep down, a lot of them think this isn't possible for me. I'm too far gone. So I think it showed that it is possible. Before that, they had never seen somebody lose 200 pounds, 150 pounds. They had never seen somebody go from where they're at to, wow, this person looks like insanely good in their eyes, you know? So I think it just gave people hope, honestly.
Okay, I can see that. I'm so cynical.
That's about the end of it.
I'm so cynical that I don't think like people see something on TV and it's like, you might be like, wow, that's awesome, good for them. Anyway. And then it's like the next show comes on. And
to be fair, out of all the other reality shows, which ones were worse? Jersey Shore or something like this?
That taught me how to go to the gym, that I needed to get a tan, and I had to get laundry.
As it gets.
All right,
like, so the rest of the reality shows were dog shit and drama. So
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I would rather, and I've never seen any like real reality show. We're not that type of person. I'd rather watch like The Amazing Race or something like that.
Okay, those are cool. Yeah.
That's it.
Like, sure. Survivor,
like
Naked
and Afraid, one of those, you know?
Bear Grylls, our boy, who drank his own piss.
Yeah, which sometimes you have to do. Let's kind of like teeter down to the ugly because even the good, like, it was all these people ganging up on each other, voting each other out. I don't know how that worked anyway. And it's like, by the way, did you see? I'm going to vote you out. It's the little thing that you serve
on a silver platter.
You serve the silver,
literally.
Like, bro,
voting you out on a silver platter.
Like, oh, it's hopeful. For me, it's like, it's not hopeful. It's how can we degrade these people while making them lose weight? Put the thing on the silver platter. But the temptation challenges. Push this thing around like cows. Like,
but did you hear that some of them like became lifelong friends, and some of them like loved this Bob Harper guy, and even named their son after him? Like, you can't deny that some people built genuine relationships and saw some good.
You could build genuine relationships in a cult.
Now, listen, I'm not disagreeing that. I thought it was very degrading, and I thought it was those challenges, those temptation challenges were like ridiculous. But again, I think they had to do things for ratings that,
of course, yeah.
You had to teeter that line of like, is this how, you know?
And you're looking at it from a trainer's perspective. I mean, it's like, lady that's 300 pounds overweight, Yeah, hang on the parallels bars, embarrass yourself there. Oh, and you fell? The camera's gonna shake like an earthquake happened.
That part, that's insane. Like
Every time somebody fell,
whoever gave the green light for that. So for those that don't know, when somebody would fall on the show, one of these like obese people would fall, those assholes in the edit would make earthquake-like camera, like the camera would shake like an earthquake, and I would believe there was a sound.
Oh shit!
Which is insane, man.
Insane. Like I don't know how anybody can. Like I think in this day and age, it's kind of indefensible. Indefensible, is that a word? And if it's that, all this is what's required to give some people hope, then I don't know if it's worth it. Like the negative stigma that it had for trainers, because everybody thinks now trainers are somebody that gets in your face and screams at you.
That's my biggest complaint. Not my biggest, but it's a big one.
And the language that they use, that they talk to these people in, it's like, man, I would have bitch slapped you. Like, who the hell do you think you are talking to me like that?
It was also like the power dynamics there. There's nothing you could do, because it's like, okay, you're gonna talk back to me, you're off the show. Like you don't want to pick a fight with one of the two trainers.
No, unfortunately, one of the poor ladies
didn't even clap for her.
No, but
she lost the weight.
They lost the weight, and that's the most petty shit you can do, man. You're gonna tell me you care about these people, and you're not gonna celebrate their little wins, like.
Although again, to play devil's advocate, like don't go on the show if you're not willing to like bust your ass like the rest of the contestants, because they will kick your ass out. Like there's 10,000 people that want to be in your spot. So just be grateful to be up there. And mind you, I know it's hard. They're kicking your ass in there.
Man, that's the freaking Epstein mentality of, you're not going to do it? There's 10,000 other actresses out there, sweetie, that are willing to do it. So
I'm just saying, if you sign up for something, you know what you're signing up for. It's like signing up for like the Navy SEAL, whatever, Hell Week, and being like, what's this whole thing about it? It's like, bro, you're going to be a Navy SEAL. You want in or not? Get the hell out. There's like 20,000 other Navy SEALs that want to take your spot. So again, maybe it's a little harsh, but let's go back to the trainer thing, because that really bothers me. It's that what that show did is show like 100 million people that, oh, a personal trainer is some asshole that screams at me so that I can work out an unnecessary amount and like be in physical pain, and then tell me, no, it's for your own good, man. I believe in you. Like, you see that stuff I did for you? That was just because, I want you to lose the weight. It's like, that couldn't be further from the truth of like what a real coach is supposed to be.
And the whole mentality of, if you're not dead or throwing up, I don't want you to stop. And it's like, okay, like that's how we're giving these people hope, inspiring America, talking to them this way. Like, that's why I'm telling you, I find it hard to grasp onto anything good that came from it.
I just think it's like my client said this morning, she's like, nobody wants to watch a show of people losing weight sustainably.
And that's what the doctor said.
Pounds a week.
When they asked the doctor, how much weight can you lose in a good week? 2 to 3 pounds is really good. And they're like, nah,
not doing that.
No. We're going to go ahead and lose in the teens.
I think what happened with like a Jillian Michaels is that she kind of embraced that role of the villain. And she was teetering that line of, is she trying to help me, or is she berating me, or is this what it takes for a trainer to like get me to do these things that I'm supposed to do because she wants me to win? So really, it's just like, like when it's a really authoritarian parent who's like, I'm just doing this for your own good.
And at the end, you get your diploma, and they're like,
exactly, very stoic,
approval.
Yeah.
But she did a good job in the sense of like a WWE wrestler does,
she
like
Triple
H. Man, I hate that guy. Guess what? He's a solid dude in real life, probably.
He's great.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Me too. So what I'm saying is like King Joffrey on Game of Thrones, damn, you're a really good actor because you made us hate you. But the problem is, she just seems like a shitty person, period. So it wasn't an act. So that's why I'm like, yeah, she's playing that role, but also she just is that. And then that sets trainers back. Like a good trainer, I'm imagining being a trainer in that era. It's like, how hard can it be to get clientele when, oh, you're the guy that's going to scream at me and berate me? It's like,
or worse, the perception is so skewed that you get a client and they expect you to treat them like that. Oh,
you're a bad trainer.
And when they're not, and when you don't, when you're like I've heard of people being like, oh, they didn't push me enough, or, oh, I like people kind of yelling at me in like militant style. And I mean, anyone that goes to our gym knows that we are not like that at all. Yeah. We're a lot more encouraging. We're a lot more meeting you where you're at. And I would also argue that there's a reason that we're like that. I think that if you look at the science and the psychology behind it, that might work. That style might give you results, quote unquote, but at what cost, right? Like you talk about, again, a parent that's like that, the kid ends up resenting the parent 9 times out of 10. It's like, yeah, okay, Tiger Woods, you got me to be the #1 golfer in the world, but I was also like, because of the discipline that you instilled in me. So I don't think that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, in my opinion, to be that type of militant.
Agreed.
Not to mention, it doesn't come natural to us.
No, definitely not. And I don't think regular people respond too well to it. Something that I was shocked by was, I'm surprised there wasn't more injuries.
1,000%.
Like,
when I saw that poor lady on the parallel bars and falling constantly, and I'm like, how did you not? First of all, how did you get through all those months of burning 6,000 calories? These are people that are undertrained, weak bones.
You know, that went, like, I got inspired with the resiliency of the human body.
Exactly.
Because
you can push people a lot harder than you think.
There's no way you should be doing that. I'm like, am I too conservative as a trainer?
Because we're way too conservative.
Because these people are going crazy with these. Like, I'm sorry, if you come into the gym and you're morbidly obese, I'm not going to have you doing these things that, like that parallel thing or
I'm not going to have you burning 6,000 calories.
Even
I'll tell
jogging,
you that right now.
So again, and then it goes back to the misconception that people probably had back then of trainers. Is like, why am I only losing 1 to 2 pounds a week when these biggest losers are losing 12, 15 pounds a week? Are you a bad trainer? And it's like, no, like these are unsustainable. Like,
so that's another con. It's the unsustainable expectations that it creates. I mean, it's appalling to think that it's normal to lose 100, 200 pounds in 6 months. It's hard to do that in 2 years, let alone do it in 6 months. And then, so let's move on to like the unhealthy practices, because that was a huge one. A lot of people, I didn't know this until I went like deep researching for this podcast, is that they gave them a lot of time, not just in the show. They had a certain amount of time that the show was being filmed, but then that big finale, which was a live thing, where they crowned the winner, there was like 8 to 10 weeks of like, now you're on your own, try to keep losing weight, and then you're gonna come back for the big finale. So what people were doing is literally starving themselves. Like one of the guys said he didn't eat for 10 days before the big show. Dehydration, starvation, these detoxes, like basically just try to lose weight at all costs just so that, to get that result. So obviously that's a big con of the show.
Yeah, I love how they tried to make Stacker 2 and like caffeine pills. They tried to demonize it.
Like a drug or something.
Like the doctor was like, I had to ban caffeine, like no coffee, because people were abusing it.
Calm down, bro.
It's just caffeine.
It's caffeine. Let them abuse it. They're being abused.
They're being abused, pobrecitos. And then the caffeine pill, and they got sued. I was like, what's all this hoopla about suing for a caffeine pill?
I know. You'd think they're talking about, I thought in the beginning they were going to be talking about like some serious
Me too,
drugs.
You're like, drug. And they started doing drugs. I was like,
drugs? In the Ronald McDonald's?
Those caffeine pills, like things that everybody was taking.
It's not a drug, bro.
Come on, I just found it
that was
whimsical.
a little bit ridiculous.
Can we please talk about the temptation challenges?
Okay, let's talk about the temptation challenges.
And it was like, they said in the documentary, it was so true. It's like, temptation isn't, you walk into a room and there's all sorts of desserts.
Everything you can think of in a
temptation
cartoonish way.
Temptation is, I had a hard day. I walk in, I just want to get a few Oreos in me. Like,
or you drive by a fast food restaurant.
You drive by,
that's temptation.
And you walk by somebody eating a pizza and it smells good. You're like, damn, I kind of want a pizza. I walk into a room and I love how one of the ladies picked up a piece of cake and went.
No, the one that I was like, hold the phone. There was a fondue thing, and that lady goes in and licks, like just goes in.
Can you show us how?
No. I was like, wow, man. That's when I thought about the whole circus freak thing.
They were like, how much do you love your family? If you eat some of this, whoever gains the most weight on this table,
that's just messed up.
Can go see their family. It's like,
so
what am I, a prisoner?
So listen to this. It's a weight loss challenge, but in the temptation challenge, whoever eats the most calories can go home and see their families who they haven't seen in months. So imagine how conflicted you are. You're like, I want to win this challenge. I want to lose weight, but I also want to see my family. And God, of course, I want to eat that delicious food. That's just messed up, man. That's like psychological.
It was honestly cruel.
Torture.
Like you said, it's all for ratings. It's all for the show, but
that was too much.
My God, between that and the physical challenges, the challenge that they had them building guys, you're gonna build a food tower
with your mouth.
With your mouth, you can't. And then you see them like strategically planning with a baguette. Okay, put your over here. Right? I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. The one that they were pushing the little thing like herding cows, I was like, the fact that you show up somewhere and they tell you this is what you're gonna do, I'll be like, all right, I guess. And it goes back to is it Bruno? He tells the parents like, are you willing for your kid to lose 30 pounds?
Are they comfortable with bees?
Yeah.
Put them with
they can operate heavy machinery. Yeah. the amount of things that people do for money and for like TV
Not
attention,
even for money, man. Just to be on TV.
to be on TV is downright sad.
Yeah.
Like,
so let's get into something that I really wanted to bring up today, which is I think that one of the most complicated things about this whole discussion is the idea of incentives, right? I learned from Charlie Munger that incentives drive behavior, right? All behavior. Like, if you think about why people do things, a lot of times it's because they're incentivized, right? What I mean is that think about the incentives of this show. The producers were incentivized to make a great show with high ratings to make buku bucks. They made disgusting money. It became
dollars.
$1 billion brand.
Crazy to me that first of all, they had games, they had a Wii game, they had protein supplements,
products, all kinds of stuff. So, right, that's the producers and the creators. The trainers had the incentive to, I get to be like America's trainer. I'm on TV.
I'm on magazines.
I'm gonna make this basically makes my career. So the incentive is there. The contestants were gonna win out $250,000, which is life-changing money, and I'm gonna lose all this weight
physically,
for my family, this and that. So if you think about that, it's the perfect storm of everybody incentivized to like do their best and their worst. Like if you're, let's face it, if I'm gonna win $250,000. You better believe I'm gonna take the freaking caffeine pills.
Oh yeah,
I'll chop my leg off if I have to.
I'll build the baguette tower with my mouth, with my ass,
of course.
I'll build the.
Guys, put it over there. Put it over there. It's like it's the always sunny thing of like, I would never sell this. Doesn't matter how much. Oh, here's the offer. Let's sell this fucking dump.
Yeah.
Dude, you're talking all this shit.
No,
but if
100%.
you were a
I'm
contestant,
not saying I wouldn't. So, like you said, yeah, it's the Venn diagram of, those Venn diagrams that there's three and there's one in the middle. In the middle, it's win the show for all three people, I guess.
Yep.
But they're all polarizingly different, like, needs and wants.
That's why I wanted to play devil's advocate, because I think it's always easy to criticize and to be like, oh, these people and that, and they were this. But when it's your turn, when you're the one that's incentivized to do something, you'd be surprised what you would do, but with the right incentives.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, I don't want like overweight people or something to be like, oh, they're picking on us and they're degrading us. No, honey, you did it to yourself because you put yourself up for it. Like you said earlier, you know what you're signing up for. Season 1, maybe te perdono. Season 1, you didn't know you were getting into, whatever. Oh, they're having us do all these wacky things. By the time season 2 rolls around, I know I'm gonna have to do some weird games. I'm gonna be kind of like paraded around. So, like I said, I would do it because I don't care if I get ridiculed. I wouldn't go after and be like, oh, but they did this to me and they said, and now I'm gonna sue.
Yeah, now it's very easy to talk smack about them.
No pun intended. You had your cake and ate it too.
I'm sorry, but that's where like I also have. You say you have no sympathy. I have no sympathy for like these every other week a Netflix documentary comes demonizing some producer from the 90s or 2000s, but then the lady will say, yeah, I worked for them for 22 years and I saw that he was being inappropriate, but oh, now you're gonna talk smack about the guy when everybody else is piling on. It's very easy to pile on, but very few people take a stand. Like I saw a documentary about Ohio State, and there was one terrible predator in there that was like doing stuff. He was the doctor of Ohio State, and I hope I'm getting that right. Ohio State, right? I'm sure there's another Ohio, but it's
got to be the.
Yeah, it's the Buckeyes,
Ohio
right?
State.
Yeah. Okay, so there was one lady that I give her all the props. All the male coaches, everybody knew what was happening. They would even like make jokes about it. Oh yeah, no, the guy he's a pervert.
The diddler.
The guy had his own shower. He would shower with them and everything. He was allowed. One lady was like, she was like the coach of the, I don't know what team, not like a big famous whatever team. It was one of the little whatever teams. She was like, no, you're not treating my athletes. My athletes, you're not, oh, this guy's a problem. This guy's, hey, university, this guy's a problem. This guy's a problem. Ignored. 15 years later, 20 years later, it all comes out. Now all the coaches, now all the males, yeah, we kind of knew, oh, the administrators, everybody just swept it under the rug.
You're just as much of an asshole.
Lady.
You're just as much of an asshole.
One freaking lady. She was the only one. So don't
the rest
give me
are just as culpable as the guy. If you're not stepping up,
exactly.
Silence is violence.
Yeah, and they didn't want to lose their cushy jobs and all that shit.
It's a good gig.
Anyway,
so I'm thinking if you're one of the people that are gonna choose to be insulted post, be insulted during. When they tell you, hey, push this thing around like a cow. No.
Yeah.
Get me out of the show.
Yeah.
But no, like, so don't talk shit. Like you said, don't come and then try to reap all the benefits. And then at the end, oh no, but I didn't like this and this.
But then again, you wouldn't want to be the like odd one out because you're already in the show. There's pressure. There's pressure to like,
for sure.
I'm just going to stay here because I need to win this money and I need to lose weight. And like that lady that almost died and passed out and got rhabdomyolysis, which is a very serious disease. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving the show. I'm not leaving. I have to stay here. And she was going
nobody
through
liked her.
a divorce. I hated her.
Nobody liked her, but
got kicked out at the end of it. But.
And then those bastards made it even harder for you to leave when they did the incentive of I'm doing it with my buddy because now I don't want to let this person down. Like the two ladies that
the two black ladies
that
the
kept
stereotypes.
Fighting each other and they kept fighting. And like, why? Because do you want me to be the angry black woman? And it's like, but it's true. They were egging them on, and like the guy said, or I think she said it. I don't know why they went on together to begin with. They didn't like each other. They couldn't stand each other. So like, what are you doing here?
To be fair, that one lady did seem like a bit of a pain in the ass.
Nobody
liked her.
She did, but at the same time, she was also kind of like standing up for herself.
That's the one they didn't clap for.
Yeah.
You have an eyelash right here. Can I take it off? Why do you do that when I try to be nice? So what are some of the lessons that we could learn from this? What are some of the things that we can take as insights?
Me, the biggest lesson for me is a desperate person will do anything to lose a weight. That was the number one thing for me that clicked. Like, wow, that's really sad. Like these people are really willing to do anything to go through these measures, these lengths, because they showed the workouts and it sucked. It was really hard.
It's also not even a thing of its time. Nowadays, people will do anything. Not to lose weight, but to be more beautiful.
Yeah, man. The surgeries are out of hand. The lip fillers are out of hand. I know you agree with GLP-1s if done properly. But that's getting out of hand, and it's like there's side effects to everything, and it's like you're taking kind of experimental drugs, not knowing what it's gonna do to you 5, 10, 15 years down the line. And I think the doctor even mentions that like you're willing to do anything. It's like, hey, I have this trial drug, it's gonna make you lose weight. What else is gonna do? We'll find out. And people are like, yeah, sign me up, man, because I'm desperate.
I mean, people do gastric bypass and all these other even more invasive procedures that have a lot of side effects, and you have to be really cautious for the rest of your life. And I would argue that that's also like a risky thing to do, but it's like, okay, this is my last resort. That's how a lot of these people feel. It's their last resort. On that same note, what I think is that we can sit here and preach all day about sustainability, doing it right, being long-term, and doing things like gradually, but people still crave the transformation, the dramatic nature of seeing somebody just like
and the
half their size.
The instant gratification.
The instant gratification, I don't want to do 1 to 2 pounds a week like it's recommended. I want to do 12 pounds a week.
Yeah.
So I think that at the end of the day, that kind of dramatization sells, and it's always going to sell. There's nothing we can do about
100%,
that.
especially when you glorify it to the extent that they did, and they have them walking out on the stage, and it's like you said, the ogre version walking out, and the new quote-unquote beautiful version, they make them up, dress them up, and then it's like, and I like at the end, it's like, this lady went too far. Just her, she went too far. None of the other ones that have lost 300 pounds, her because she looks a little chupa, she looked a little like emancipated.
Yeah, that was emaciated.
Sorry, I could have.
That was
she looked the Emancipation Proclamation. She looked like
leave it.
It's
leave
crazy.
It in.
Leave it in. I'll leave it. These people know I'm stupid.
Yeah, it took that lady going quote unquote too far for like the conversations to start shifting.
And also,
okay, this might be a little too much.
I realized it was the social media boom. Like Twitter was at its apex, and that's when people were like,
we can start talking about
let's start talking about it on a more public scale. And
yep.
And that's when I guess it kind of bit him in the ass.
I think also like when TV shows or media in general tries to go like the education route, there's always a little bit of a conflict of interest that they conflate education with entertainment. And those are not the same things. Like, don't think that even if you put a doctor out there talking this and that, you're never gonna get the real true education because there's always that entertainment aspect
entertainment comes first. And it's like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Entertainment first, and it's like, we're gonna get people that are maybe not that smart, the contestants, and we're gonna get 5th graders that are really smart to make you look even dumber. So it's like that whole, like, like you said, it's entertainment over education.
Yeah, and then so one of the things we've been talking about today, big insight, is that fitness shouldn't be about humiliation and like berating and things like that. My personal opinion on this as a coach is that these people already feel bad enough about themselves. You don't think, and I've learned that from a few people that I've worked with, which is, you don't think I already torture myself in my head all day and talk down to myself, and then I'm gonna have some asshole trainer talk down to me again? It's like, what are we doing here? That's not helping anybody. So I hope that one of the things we could take out of this as a society is that, we've evolved from that. You don't need to be humiliated or feel bad about themselves. And it's not just obese people, by the way. There's like these alpha male boot camps. Guys pay like $10,000 to go away for a weekend to literally get screamed at, berated, like straight up just hazed into being an alpha male. It's one of the most pathetic things you'll ever see.
I don't know if you've said it before, but
we should do a
spoiler
podcast on
alert.
that.
No, if you go to an alpha male boot camp,
You're not an alpha.
You're not, and will never be an alpha male. It's not something that you're a skill that you learn. It's not carpentry. It's a way of being. Like, and it's not something that you should strive for either. If you're just not, you're not. You know, like, get in a role, accept it. Like,
do you think there's alpha and beta males, or do you subscribe to that?
I think it's much more complicated than that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's
don't subscribe to that.
A through
I know what it
D.
means. I know what they're trying to say, but we should do a podcast on that though, because there's a guy called Andy something. It's some bald guy. He's like one of the more like controversial, and he has these workshops, and he's publicly said that he doesn't hire anyone who doesn't have a six-pack. Mind you, it's more rare for a male to have a six-pack than to be a millionaire. So like there's like way more millionaires than there are men with six-packs. And men with six-packs who are millionaires, it's like 0.00000 whatever percent.
Over 6 feet tall.
Population.
0.000, and then that's every woman's dating profile.
The amount of women that think they could get a man that's a millionaire, has a six-pack, and is over 6 feet tall, you're fooling yourself, girl.
Keep trying, sweetie.
But anyway, I think we should do a podcast on that Andy guy.
Agreed.
Also, I'm gonna be in that percentage soon of having a six-pack and being a millionaire.
Good.
I don't know about soon, but I'll be there eventually, people. Believe that.
I won't have the six-pack, but I'll try to be a millionaire.
Who wants to be
try.
one? Any practical takeaways or anything that we left out? I think we've made our points.
Covered, yeah. I think I came off pretty cynical, but you guys have to understand my point of view. This program represents everything that I'm against, in the sense of I'm more of a encouraging trainer. I like to make sure you're having fun, that you form a healthy relationship with fitness, with eating healthy. And this program, this show, took all that to the wayside and took a big fat shit on it and said, we're going results over everything. We're going to scream at you. We're going to belittle you. We're going to make you feel like shit. We're going to humiliate you in front of a massive audience. And then you're going to lose some weight. And it's like, for me, is that worth the physical torture that it did on these people? Definitely not.
It's a good point that you bring up, because one of my hot takes is that it's not all about results, because that seems to be like, especially in the like grind, salesy, whatever, boss, whatever kind of person, what they value over everything is results. Or if it gets you results, who cares? Like, and I completely disagree. I think it's not all about results, because again, I can lose 20 pounds by cutting off part of my leg. That's the result. Yeah. Obviously, that's an extreme example, but another example would be I could literally lose 8 pounds by the end of this week if I just dehydrate myself. Yeah. That's the result. But did I do anything positive for my health? No. So I think we need to stop thinking so much about results and think about, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this to be healthier. I'm doing this to have better quality of life. Yep. That is not necessarily tied to the results. Yes, the results come little by little, but it's not all about results. We need to think about the process just as much as the final, goal.
Agreed. And it's like that with so many things. Like we always say, it's fitness a lot like making money. You can sacrifice everything to make money. You can sacrifice your family life. You can sacrifice your happiness.
Sell cocaine and make more money.
And make millions, be a millionaire. Hey, but guess what? It made money. If it makes money, it makes sense. No, like if I lose weight, that's not necessarily a good thing. It's like you said, the relationship that you form with exercise. Am I happier? Am I more content in my body? Not just, hey, I had a surgery and now I lost all this weight and the end. Like, no, like the steps you take along the way, the friends you make along the way, is really, I think, the most important part for me.
That's 100%. There's like a quote that's something like, not a direct quote, but it says something like, it's not, like when you go on a self-improvement journey, it's not about the finish line, it's about the person you become in the process. So that process you can't skip. That's why I'm kind of against like these interventions such as liposuction and stuff like that, unless it's like, you've already lost a lot of the weight and you're legitimately trying, whatever, do whatever you want. I'm not judging, but what I'm saying is, if you're not doing the exercise and the habit building part, you can get all the liposuction you want. I've seen it time and time again. Right, you go right back to it.
How many people do you know
start gaining weight in weird places because you missed the plot, bro. Yep. It's not about the weight loss. It's about you became the type of person who works out, who tracks, certain things, who understands nutrition, who understands sleep and stress management. It's about the person you become. It's not about, oh, now I'm skinny overnight. I took a knife to me and now I'm skinny overnight. It's not about that.
We've been doing this for so long that we can tell you from personal experience, the person that does it right, the person that accepts the journey for what it is, that goes step by step ultimately is the happier person and is more helpful towards people that are in the same situation, and they're more welcoming and they're more understanding than the person that takes the easy way out and they go and they get a surgery and, oh, my lipo went bad, now I'm getting gastric. Oh, now I'm gonna get this one. That person never learns and that person is never content.
Yep.
So which path do you want to take? Definitely not the one that this show encouraged, in my opinion.
Yeah. I guess if I had to, again, push back for the last time, it would be, I strongly believe that being morbidly obese is so bad for you, objectively speaking, that it almost warrants extreme measures to get you out of that.
If that's what it takes, I mean, at least like you said, these people were exercising and dieting. They weren't, going under the knife. They weren't doing anything else. Whatever. At least you're doing that. Yeah. You have these two steps.
And
whether
again,
you're being extreme is another thing.
And I think there's a difference between you willingly doing something, putting yourself in a scenario, and me making you do something. Like, for example, I believe that a lot of people are not going to get their shit together, whether that be somebody who's like has a substance abuse problem or somebody who has a food abuse problem. It's like, lock away the sweets, man. I can't have them around. Like, I can't trust myself with the sweets around.
But the difference is you willingly
put me in the place.
You willingly
put me in the rehab
walk
center.
into the rehab center. You willingly join the Biggest Loser.
Exactly.
Not
forcing you.
Yeah, you freaking kidnapped me and put me in this Biggest Loser camp because you didn't.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, do fat camps still exist for kids?
I doubt it.
We talked about that last time, didn't we?
I doubt it.
Because that is sending your kid to a camp they don't want to be.
But I'm sure they're selling it as their, like, it's a facade.
A fun camp.
Yeah, fun activities.
You get there, it's like heavyweights. It's a fat camp.
Fat camp.
It's a fat camp. Are you crazy?
Oh my God, I need to watch that movie again, man.
Fire. All right, losers.
Plenty.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Defib Brothers
Podcast.
We definitely what?
Well, comment below.
Also,
I want to hear
take
everybody's
everybody's
thoughts
thoughts
on
on
this.
this
I know you have
personal
thoughts.
experience, so
Get ready.
comment.